A dear friend of mine volunteers with Moms Try, and she was telling me about it. And I was also at the same time searching for ways to get involved in the West Valley, volunteering opportunities. And so I decided to sign up and do whatever they needed help with the day of the race. I helped a little bit with registration, but then when it was time to get started, I actually became kind of a traffic director. My job was to keep the pedestrians from interfering with the racers when the racers were exiting the pool. But what actually ended up being my job was encouraging the swimmers and encouraging the racers as they were transitioning from the swimming to the biking. I was just amazed at the amount of family support that was here for the women. There were kids here with signs for their moms, and there were husbands here with flowers, and multi-generations were here supporting grandma or mom in the water part. My favorite experience, the best memory that I have of the whole day, is there were 2 people left in the pool, and most of the crowd had cleared out. The volunteers had moved on to the next stations, and I stayed because that was my job, and I wanted to wait until all of the swimmers were done. And it was one woman on a paddleboard and one woman next to her. And they were slow. I mean, just to be honest with you, they were still halfway in the pool. And again, everyone had moved on. And they didn't give up. They didn't stop. They didn't cheat. They didn't get out early. They did the whole course. And when they got out, they moved to the bike portion, and I cheered them on. I was crying. They were crying. And later, after the race, when I found them, one of the women didn't know how to swim. But they had signed up to do this together, and her friend had told her, I won't leave you. Okay, so we're going to do this together. They were going through some things, and this was their chance to just define their friendship more. And they stayed together the whole race. But just to see the friendship that was shown in that moment, that they stayed together and they finished and they persevered, it was beautiful. And I cried for a long time because I can hope that I have friends that would do that for me. And just, it brought out, I think, really the spirit of the day. It's kind of broken into 3 groups, I think. You know, there was definitely women that were here to compete. There were definitely a group of women that were here, some together, some alone, that didn't need a lot of extra support. Then there was this group that had trained, and some of their family members were here. They had come with others. And then there were some that were here because I think maybe they wanted to try something different. And so you saw all levels of support. You saw some that needed high fives, and that was really fun. You saw some that needed hugs. And it was funny because I was at the transition point of this pool to the bike, and all of a sudden someone would hug you, and you're like, okay, yes, you need a hug. Or it was easier to reach out for high fives. And then you saw some that needed a moment. They needed their family to come tell them, okay, you're not done, and we're not letting you quit. But the best part of all 3 of those groups coming together was at the finish line. So they have this, it's not a winner's circle, but I don't know what it's called, but only the participants can go in there. And it's just set up beautifully. I mean, lunch and decorations and gifts, and it's like an honor circle, I guess you would say. And to watch every woman, whether they were competing or trying something out or struggling to finish, they all just had these beautiful smiles as they walked into that circle. Yeah, so I'm definitely volunteering again, and I've asked 3 of my friends to volunteer with me. They haven't committed yet, but they said, oh yes, we remember you talked about that for days, you know, and I want to volunteer in the same spirit that the competitors are in the race. I'm not going to participate yet, but I hope in the future that that would be something that I could try.
And is it something you feel like you could do?
It's something I absolutely feel like I could do, yeah, with the support. I think too, like I said, I talked about it for a long time afterward, and that's when I know that something has really changed me for the better. I think that I could have come and been a volunteer and directed traffic and left for the day just, no better, no worse. It's always good to volunteer, but I left seeing a new side of women supporting women. I left seeing a new side of moms having a chance to try something. We always push our children to try new things, and we support them when they want to try a new instrument or they want to take an art class. And, we're the ones that support them. And so I just felt that when I left, if there was anything that I wanted to try, I could ask my family for that support, be more brave or courageous to ask for support, because that's what I saw. I saw families supporting families, women supporting women. So I definitely left changed. I definitely left knowing that I could be supported if I wanted to go out of my comfort zone.